Dear twin flame souls out there, welcome to the Twin Flame Awakening Journey podcast, and today is in episode 164. Happy New Year and welcome here if you are a new listener. Happy to have you here on 2026, and today's episode is going to be about 21 things or ways to know that, hey, wait a minute, I must be on this twin flame journey. What is this thing? Why am I feeling? So I will go through the 21 things that will happen to you in the beginning, in the middle, in between, and then comes the end part. And I would say that the podcast you are listening at the moment is pretty much built up. When you go at the beginning, you will see the beginning stage where all of these things are happening. The more you go forward, you will see the growth and things will start to happen to you on this journey. Recently or another day, I came across again with some of the posts where it was like, oh, how can you settle for a soulmate instead of because when you have a twin flame in your life and everybody has a twin flame. I will speak about this on the upcoming episode, so those of you who would like to hear about this and the truth, which is about that, please obviously like, subscribe, stay over here to hear that. But what I was just saying there and when this came is like, actually, to be honest, those of you who are on a so-called twin flame journey, it's the last thing you wish for someone. It's not something you want to experience. And to go down to say that, oh, you don't have a twin flame, but I do and I am more special, that there is no such a thing like an ego over there. There is no such a thing that this is better or things like that. And then I see what starts to happen with this is that everybody who has, let's say, a soulmate breakup, or they have a short breakup of someone, they start going, oh, that must be my twin flame. But I will speak about this on the upcoming episode, why not all of us have a twin flame, and there is a very big reason for it. It is a very human, there is a scientific nervous system reason for it, because it's not a fun journey, and your body will be suffering under this. And there is a reason all of it, but today we're gonna go through 21 things that you most likely are going to experience on this journey. So the very, let's say from the beginning, let's say is a soul recognition. This is the moment when somehow you meet that person and you have this moment of, hey, this is you. Oh, like you know that person. You all of a sudden have an understanding who is this person without having any logical explanation. And you don't understand why, but your soul recognizes it's in the other person. It feels very familiar. You feel like you have arrived home. And this is where your soul recognizes that something is here and there is no logic that's going to explain it. It's just the inner knowing that I have arrived home. Wow. Welcome home. Then comes another part from it. And number 2 is a soul shock. Once your soul has recognized yourself in another body, a lot of energy will get activated. And opposite charges inside of you will start to awaken. The light and the shadow, the masculine and feminine, all of a sudden your life somehow will not make sense anymore. And the energy in your body builds and builds until your system cannot hold it anymore. And when it comes too much, the energy flips from attraction to repulsion. That's where we know where the running and all of that starts to happen, because it's so intense. You're feeling the love that you have never felt before in your life. And your life somehow doesn't make any more sense. And that creates a very strong push and pull and feels very strong shock to your nervous system. That's what I'm going to talk about in the upcoming episode, about why not everyone has a twin flame and why those who are really on this journey do not wish that to anybody else. So your body now starts to react before your mind can understand, and you don't understand why you're doing what you're doing. And it's the same with your so-called runner, the divine masculine, what we often call, is running. Because of your body acts in a way that you cannot have a control. The number 3 that you most going to go experience on this journey is the obsessive thoughts. Your mind becomes completely stuck on this person. You replay every moment, imagine all of the conversation, and you simply feel unable to move on, and you can't even grasp an idea to be with somebody else or to date somebody else, or just go. If somebody gives you an idea of saying, hey, just move on, this person was not interested of you, it feels impossible for you because of you are so like something is there, like you're possessed. Somehow it's like you're possessed. And that can be also the time when you start to come across with the twin flame information. But I'm going to say that this is happening because of the experience that didn't happen in the mind. It happened in the soul. And the mind tries to catch up by thinking about it constantly. What is this thing? What is this thing? Why am I feeling like this? What is, like your mind is constantly looking for information. You're looking their social media, you're trying to make sense of it. You are like all over the place. But it means your mind is trying to understand something that didn't actually happen on the mental level. Your soul felt it first, but the mind wants the answers, and who has the answers is your soul, your inner knowing. But the peace in that journey will not come from thinking more, and that's where we have to stop that. This is a very important part. Because when we have these obsessive thoughts and we want to know, and we are all about looking the validation outside, that is a bit of a information for you that, hey, you need to stop here. You need to start realizing what's going on. I do not recommend you to talk with someone who hasn't really experienced that, because they can clearly tell you that, oh, you're going to get over. It's just, you have it for 2-3 months. It's going to be over. The person is not interested of you. But the reason why I talk about it here, because your soul knows you are receiving already information, and you need to ground and listen to it. Because sometimes we were thinking when we have this obsessive stage that my twin doesn't care about me, when they will come back, maybe they never come back, maybe they never felt like this. Your mind can be endless of thinking all of these things. But you do need to ground over here to listen what's going on with you. Then, once you have received certain part of the information, the fourth thing is you start to have a doubt. And doubt is actually a very normal and one of the most common part of being on twin flame journey or not. And why? Just because of the mind is not finding any more logical answers. There is no logic here. And I have said this over and over and over again. And so now you start questioning yourself, well, wait a minute, maybe I made all of that up. You start to doubt yourself and the connection. You start putting other person on a pedestal and you start feeling like you are unworthy. You question whether this journey is real or whether you're meant to be on it. Maybe it's not there. But this doubt comes from old wounds and self-worth, not from the connection itself. And this is a very important part of it, the self-worth of yours. Do you believe that you deserve a love like this? Are you part of this love? Are you this love? And can you hold that frequency in your body? So from there on, all of a sudden, a fear will kick on, and the fear will start to taking you over. You feel like you're losing yourself or going crazy because your old sense of identity starts to dissolve. And that feels absolutely terrifying. And this fear isn't actually a danger to you, but it's the ego reacting to change, because just one of the things on Twin Flame Journey, whether you like it or not, your life is going to change. And the fear is going to come into you because you already know that your life is about to change. You're going to do 180 degrees. That can come down to your job, to your friends, to the mindset, to things you used to believe and you no longer believe. But this is scary because if you all of a sudden have no longer that identity of thinking, but I used to believe this and now none of this makes sense anymore. And this is a very scary part to be in, because you're losing yourself alive. And that's what I call it. Somehow you die while you are alive, meaning of you are entering into now, where you're shedding off the old self of yours, and the new, you don't know. You have no idea what's coming. So think of the same way, like when you're coming to this world, you have no idea what's going to happen. But luckily on that time, your memory been erased and you don't remember the past of yours. Number 6 thing from here will go that you become acting or feeling desperate. You feel the pull to check on them constantly. You look at their social media, their online status, the places they might be. This energy feels addictive. Like your system craves for this, like what they are doing, where they are they going to message me, when they're going to message me, when it's going to happen. And this isn't love. Many of us can think, and this is and that's why I talk about shifting our nervous system in all of the episodes what I have done. And I know it's sometimes too deep and too hard to understand, but I say these things because if you are looking a shift on this journey without shifting your nervous system and your frequency, you will be going and looping and looping and looping. That's why all of my workshops, all of my retreats, all of them are built on the latest, what we know in terms of because nothing is going to change. And every workshop, every retreat of mine has been built from the fact of regulating with the latest technologies or latest methods we know to regulate your nervous system. And this is super, super important, because when we are acting, feeling desperate, this isn't love. It's your nervous system looking for a regulation, because it's so messed up in that time. And we believe that, and this is another thing that's going to happen on this journey, that all of a sudden you will not feel anymore that the love has to be like this. And then it's another shock to you. Because until that moment, you were like a drug addicted, that anything you get a little hint, hey, how are you? And you're like, they're back in my life. Okay, how I'm gonna hold that frequency. But this is not that how I'm gonna hold the frequency. You need to become this frequency. And again, you can like or dislike what I say about it, and the mind can go, but I want this person, and this person will only make me happy. And all of a sudden, I all of the ways I get that, I totally do. But if you are really, really looking to live your life in the present moment, to feel the love with or without that person and be this, you need to take actions that are based on regulating your nervous system. And this is not from the mind. No manifestation, no nothing will happen from the mind. It is about shifting your frequency. And you can Google about it. You can ask whoever you want to ask. This is the answer you will get. And that's what when I figured that out, my journey took completely different ways. All of this stopped. So, acting and feeling desperate. So then from there, number 7 is that your core wound activation will happen. Your deep emotional wounds will rise on the surface. And these are the themes you have carried for a very long time with you: abandonment, rejection, unworthiness, control, or not feeling chosen. And so they appear that you can be finally seen, felt, and released. And I know when we are on that stage, it feels absolutely devastating. But the good news over here is when you see that this is appearing and coming through, you have a chance to release it, that it will not come back. And I find this is so powerful, because when you start to have an awareness of not feeling and doing this again, you become a master. And you start attracting amazing people in your life. So yes, when our core wounds get activated, it's not pleasure, and most likely it gets during the separation. Because when they leave you, you start to feel every single part of it. From there on, number 8 is a core wound pain, meaning that your body actually feels it too. So you might experience pain or pressures, and I spoke about this in the other episodes in detail, what kind of physical symptoms. Today we just go through the things, but you can have it around the sacral, your solar plexus, or your heart chakra. And this is the emotional energy moving through the body, asking for attention and softness. Again, here is a very important part to start paying attention. Your body is very intelligent. Our bodies can heal ourselves. But they can only heal and transform when we are listening to them. And it can be a very dark time. Very dark. But no more information will solve that rather than you connecting into your system. So if you are looking at change on your journey this year, then now it's the perfect time to realize I have to go within. And no matter how long it's going to take, I'm going to step by step work on it. The number 9, what you're going to experience is repelling of the energies, where the push and pull becomes stronger, which means you want their closeness one moment. You want them to have everything in your life like they come. And that's also can be a moment where twin flame runner and chaser, they switch roles. All of a sudden, you feel, no, I don't want that person. I don't want this kind of thing. I don't want this way. And you want the closeness one moment, the other moment distance. The same energy that draws you together also pushes you apart. And that's not a failure for you on this journey in a certain way. It's somehow that your system, the journey, is trying to rebalance itself. It's trying to make it up. So there can be a moments where your twin comes in very strongly, where you feel, I don't know what to do. It's too complicated. And then the other way around again. Number 10, you're going to have the physical symptoms. Your body shows how intense is that journey. And that's what I talk about on the next episode. Whoever is saying, yes, everybody has a twin flame and you can handle, believe me, not everyone's bodies are able to handle this. Because your body will show how intense it is. You're going to have stomach problem, pain in your lower belly. Your heart starts to flutter. You feel you can't breathe. Your chest is like, you feel the butterflies. You feel the lower back, like pain. All of these are very common. Your head, all of this, and there is a reason for it. That's why I'm saying not everyone has a twin flame, because your body has to be really able to hold it. And these are the symptoms that show and reflect the emotional energetic overload. It's not something that is wrong with you, but you do need to find a moment to ground there, because it can get very, very intense. Again, I've spoken about this on the other episode. I believe it is the physical symptoms that you can experience or health conditions you can experience while on twin flame journey. I had all of them, and I did go to the doctors. I had my, yearly checkup. Everything was absolutely fine with me. And I was experiencing heart flutters that I thought I'm going to have a heart attack. Again, I always advise you to go to the doctors, because we should be going once a year at least to check what is my blood doing, what is my health overall, because that gives you an understanding what you need to give it to your body. But also the physical symptoms are part of this journey. Number 11, our favorite, ego death and dark night of the soul. And this is often called as, we know, ego death or dark night of the soul. And this is I like calling this where your mind and soul are in the fight. Your soul is speaking over your mind, and the mind is still trying to grasp upon. But every old identity, every old belief, fear, or addiction, or stories, or traumas, they are coming on the surface to be felt, seen, and let go of. And everything that felt familiar inside of you collapses. So something that is actually true self of yours is going to emerge. And that's just very, very important. So when you have all of this fighting back and forth, doing all of that, like so much intensity, so much is going on that you can barely breathe or sleep, you're going to end to the complete ego death. And ego death is not fun. You know, when we use all of these words here and there, we think that, ego death, Kundalini, twin flame, like these are words. But when you're actually experiencing it, it's a real experience. Same thing, like I've always said that I love when people talk about world hunger when they have a 5-course meal later on. I'm like, it's very easy to talk about world hunger when you haven't felt an empty stomach. You know that you're going to go and eat. I think you will talk about the world hunger in a very different way when you'll not have a food for, let's say, for at least 30 days. So what I mean is here that these words are very easy to say, I'm experiencing an ego death. I'm going to say when you're really experiencing an ego death, you feel you are dead. This is a very, very dark moment of your journey, and I don't wish that to any one of you. So that's why I know that these words are very simple, but when you are experiencing this, it is the pain of your lifetime. And Twin Flame Journey brings in the ego death. That's why, again, I'm going to say not everyone is going to experience this phenomenon. This is not a romanticized connection, what we believe in. I'm not going to say that you cannot have romantic relationship. Absolutely you can. But there are now, I've spoken to, I don't keep a number, but it's quite a big number. And these are all put together from what people have told me, what I have experienced. And these are the common ground things that we experience from the beginning, in the middle, and at the end. There are different stages of this journey. But ego death is one of them, and it is a very, very painful part. And often when we have our ego death, number 12 sign for you that the spiritual awakening begins. The Kundalini gets activated. Now you would ask me, yeah, but does the Kundalini not get activated on the moment when you meet your twin flame? Absolutely. But now what happens is that the Kundalini got that moment activated. That's why you had all of these physical symptoms and all of that. But now the awakening, all of a sudden another person, like another version of you emerges. And awakening always happens suddenly, not forcefully. That's another, and again, I'm going to talk about this in the upcoming episode. There is no force on here. There is no such a thing that is going to happen. But when you finally surrender, and the ego death will make you to surrender. The ego death is so painful. It's gonna crack you open. Now you can also ask, can I have many mini ego deaths? Absolutely. Again, there is a reason for that. But I would say that the final ego death feels, when you come out of it, that you are absolutely empty. And then you feel something emerges through you. Something that starts to speak to you, something that starts to tell you. And this can feel very intense, overwhelming, and very destabilizing at first when you're experiencing. And it is similar to the soul shock, but it is much deeper. So the soul shock is kind of like, oh, wow, I've arrived home. I know all of it. But then when the Kundalini gets activated is where you have any more control. And it can be very, very scary. That's why people can really feel that they are losing their mind. They're going crazy. They don't know what's happening in their body. They hear voices, they smell their twin, they hear their twin thoughts, they see the world, they have never seen it before. So far, again, I'm a believer that twin flames are activating the Kundalini, and there is a reason for it. Again, I will talk about this in depth on the next episode. So that's again is a proof of your journey. The next thing is number 13 is signs and synchronicities. You start seeing repeated numbers and symbols everywhere. 1111 is the one that starts calling you. Most of us will not ever see the 1111 before there is about to have a big shift in the journey. It can be just a spiritual journey, meaning you don't meet your twin flame and you get activated in different ways. But on a twin flame journey, you start seeing numbers. 1111 is one that starts to come to you from the very beginning. It's like you don't even understand, but every time you're seeing it, but you don't understand it yet. Or 222, 333, 444, 777, 888, or this person's name is appearing everywhere. You see everybody talks about it, or they bring it in, things about it, and you think, what is this thing? And these are the signs that reflect the inner alignment and your heightened awareness. Not something you need to chase or prove. In the beginning, we do that, and I did it, and I still say that to a lot of people. If you don't believe you are on this journey, play the game with the universe, because universe will reflect. Remember, everything is a mirror. So if it's a truth within you, the universe will reflect back to you. For example, you don't believe that you are on twin flame journey, but your inner world, your soul already knows that. So you can ask, universe, if I am on this journey, show me this or show me that, and see what happens. If you're receiving it, you are on this journey. There is no doubt in that. So after all of that, also, now when this Kundalini has pushed through you, all of this, there comes this inner knowing. And that's why I talk about it, that it's so, so important, super important in this journey, to start listening yourself. Not what everybody else out there says, what not everybody shows to you. The answers, the whole journey is already inside of you. And you start to have the inner knowing. And at some point, that doubt fades off. And the knowing comes there. And then you no longer need the reassurance. You no longer need that someone tells you, yes, you are on that twin flame journey. Yes, that's what's happening. Because you feel that the connection is absolutely true inside of you. Regardless of what happens externally, you just know there is something deeper between me and this person. And I know that. And this is love. This is oneness. I feel that. So, number 15, that very often happen. And that's why, again, I know I'm a little bit like a broken radio over here. But I don't say these things for a joke. I do say that if you want to so-called master this journey, you master the journey by going within. There are no answers outside. The answers outside are perceptions of other people, the journey of them. But the answers are within you. And if you connect with your soul, if you connect with your truth, your journey will start making sense and you're closer to the union than ever before. So, number 15, that you have to start to have very clear senses. Meaning, we know right now that we have 5 senses. I have discovered that I am close to 9 senses right now. I have 4 new senses that opened up thanks to the Kundalini and meeting my twin flame. So number 1, what you often feel that your intuition becomes much stronger. You start feeling information in your gut, in your heart, in your sacral area. You just know. Your third eye opens. You sense things without needing explanation. And you trust more what you feel more than what you think. And this is something, write down the mantra. Write down this mantra for yourself. I trust more what I feel than what I think. Because you will be receiving information so strongly. Another day I was asked about to explain, like, how can I see the world? Because I see the energies, I read the information very quickly, I can sense the probabilities, and this all opened up thanks to the Kundalini even stronger than before. And I explained this in the way of saying that, think of it a little bit that the person who is blind, and you don't see colors, you don't see the things, but it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Same as here, when your senses begin to open, your third eye opens, your energetic body opens, you start to see things. Like, I tell you, it's a little bit, I don't know, in the video games, I don't play video games, but I've seen it, that they have like a numbers on top of them, or they have like, oh, I feel this way, and there's like a code that is happening to them and things like this. So this is pretty similar. You start to see that, oh, they're thinking of that. This is what's happening in their energetic body. This is like, there's a code around them. And you can see that. That's pretty interesting, I'm going to tell you. But in the beginning, of course, your third eye opens. You start to become a channeler. And in our last Cyprus retreat, every one of them were able to experience how they're going to channel information. And many of them opened up and they realized, oh wow, where that comes from. And that's a very powerful thing. So, like I said, all of the retreats are based where I'm training, or I'm showing to you that you have all the answers. You are the master of your journey. You know how to get to the union. But the way to get there, we need to calm the nervous system, whether we like it or not. And I did all of that through. I had step by step. It started with the holotropic breath work. It started with the deep meditations. From there on, I got into all of the Kundalini, the energy, Reiki, all of that I got into, and that changed absolutely everything. And people can say it's a nonsense, it's not real. I always say, try it before you judge it, as if you are really on this journey and you want to make sense of this journey, there you have to connect to the energy. Then actually at one point, when you have reached to the certain level, you become private about the journey. So from the very beginning, you're trying to explain yourself, myself included. I remember I went to a shaman by accident, and the journey, the story is out here in some of the podcasts. And I was explaining that I met this man, and I think he's my twin flame, and this and that. And he looked at me and said, why do you explain me this if you know that? Why is it so important for you? I didn't understand at the time, because I was looking for a validation. I was looking to understand if this is real. But he reflected back to me very quickly, like, do you know if it's real? Why you are looking? And when you stop explaining yourself in a way, you no longer feel the need to tell to people that you are on a twin flame journey. You just feel, I know, welcome home. Okay. And you start protecting your experience from any kind of judgment or opinions or misunderstandings. And that's why, again, why I say why opinions are very powerful. But remember that everyone's opinion is through their own lens. Do I agree that we should talk with someone? Absolutely. That's the reason I made it up for people to talk, to connect through their energy, to see what is the truth. Because it's a little bit like, think of it that you have all of this knowing, but you don't know what to do with that because it feels so out of this world. Because you can't talk this with your friends or with your family, but because they haven't experienced this. This morning it came to me when I was meditating, exactly one of the things that appeared to me was about, let's say, UFOs. Me, I haven't seen a UFO. I haven't met someone out of the world. It doesn't mean I don't believe in it, because it's quite selfish to think about that we are the only ones who are having this experience over here, based on how many planets are out there and so on and so on. So I think it's a little bit like childish to think like this. But I haven't met one. But there are people who claim that they have met. Now, I know some people have sometimes said, I wish it would have never happened to me, because of what's the point of it? It actually did this to me and did that to me, and it wasn't pleasant. So why I should even talk about it? So what I'm saying to you, that I'm not going to say that the true twin flames are the ones that will not walk around the blank on their face and saying, I am twin flame, I am twin flame, I am twin flame. But I would really tell you there is something about that you like to keep it to yourself. And it, of course, in the beginning, you're looking for the answers. But there comes a moment where you feel, no, I don't want to share this with the world. And even if you are together as a couple, you feel this is something very sacred and I want to keep that energy. Now, and another thing that will become on this journey where you release the outside validation. And that's a very big sign of being on this journey, where you stop searching for answers externally. Any kind of psychics, tarot readers, astrologists, numerologists, they no longer have a power over your truth. And you also become very aware of everyone's energy, who is real, who is telling you the truth, who is taking your energy. And you start realizing, no, I need to, not to protect yourself, but you become more aware who is real and who is not. That's often a question people ask me, how do I know I'm on twin flame journey, let's say when they are on the retreats? And my answer is always, look at the energy. Just observe the energy and you will have the answer faster than you can imagine. It's just there. The energy speaks, not the words, not the action, not how much knowledge I have, not how much I know, how advanced I am, how much I have done. No, it's the energy, it's the quiet, it's the stillness that speaks. The 18th sign of this, that you start to understand this journey, is a process. And that's a very important part. I think it's one of them, if I talk about ego death and Kundalini, this is the number 3 of understanding that this journey is a process. And you realize this is not linear. Even though in the beginning you can feel it's chaotic and painful and things to improve, then the life starts opening up into other areas for you. Abundance, career opportunities, healthier relationship, deeper self-worth. And you keep rising even during challenges. And I see this over and over again. People who have come to the retreats, workshops, everything is available. Like on Patreon, it's $5.99. And you can join anytime you wish. You can do them and see how it changes your life. What I have seen, it has changed tremendously because I know it's energetic. I know that you will not shift before the nervous system changes. And we can agree, disagree here. It's like the fundamental. It's the fundamental because universe is energy, and that's where it begins. And even though you can have a moment where you all of a sudden, let's say, you get an amazing career opportunity, but all of a sudden you will feel sad again, longing for your twin. It doesn't mean that you have failed. You're realizing, oh, that's a process. It's just step by step. It's layer by layer. And it's for a lifetime. This, unfortunately, I have to break your illusion that this is for a lifetime. Because it came to awaken you, and the moment you go off from the path, you will be reminded. Then there is a Satori, the inner peace, right now, right here, that you're going to experience. And you experience moment of deep stillness. It's one of the most beautiful things you can experience. That's the moment where you can feel, I'm done. I have arrived to the heaven. You feel the oneness, you feel the love, you feel connection to everything around you. And that's a very big sign when often you come to the alignment with your twin. When all of a sudden you feel no excitement, no nothing, you feel peace. You feel you have arrived right now, right here, and nowhere else to be. There is no other better place to be than this place here. And it's not something from the mind. You feel it with every single cell of your body. And you don't feel attachment. You feel the wholeness. You feel the oneness. You feel, I'm here. I can close my eyes and I want to stay here forever and ever. It's so beautiful. That's why, again, the power of now will help you to embody this, of realizing you've nowhere else to be than here, and experience it. Then, of course, and I have said that many times, you no longer seek for the twin flame information. You stop searching for online. You no longer need a constant explanation or labels. You start living the truth and you're not studying it. And this is so, so important. And I know even that my podcast is called Twin Flame Awakening Journey. And in the sense we are talking about twin flames, although I'm going to say that in 2026 we are going more deeper about simulation, dreams, how to use your energies to manifest, to what is the sexual energies, all of these kind of things that will help you to live in this life after that awakening. Because the awakening is not only you meeting your twin, but I know the process over there as well. And you start living the truth. This is so important. My truth and your truth might not be the same, but it is important to live from your heart and from your truth of knowing that's exactly where I have to be. That's exactly how I have to experience life right now, right here. And the final one is that you will always be seeking for the truth. You no longer seek for the fantasy of, oh, how a relationship is going to be like this. When my twin returns back to my life, I'm going to do this. When I'm going to have this, this is going to happen. No, you start seeking the truth within yourself, within life, within love. You choose what feels real, grounded, aligned, rather than what feels fear or illusion. In that sense that, will this happen? Well, you will always seek for the truth within you. And when you know the truth within you, you will not go wrong. And that journey becomes a blessing to you. Yeah. Yeah. But this is another stage. So like I said, 21 ways of knowing if you are on a twin flame journey. These are the things. You might be in a different stage right now. You might be in the beginning. You might be in the middle. You might be at the end already while listening to it. But this is how the process is going to be sooner or later, whether you like it or you don't. So yeah, welcome to this journey. I'm going to say that 2026 is the year of beginning. I already see that more and more men are contacting me. More and more awakenings are happening in that space. So I won't be surprised if your divine masculine is really stepping into this as their body, as their nervous system is ready for it. I explain about this in the next episode, where I talk about how love doesn't have to be logical, and also about how not everyone has a twin flame, and that's okay too. Even if your heart just got broken today, remind yourself that it's important to let go of any old patterns that might be inside of you, because otherwise you keep attracting the same loop over and over and over again. All right, my loves, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to this podcast. I hope you got some insights, some love, some connection, something. And if you enjoyed that, please come back to this for the next episodes or listen to the previous ones. I wish you a very happy new year. The beginning of this is number 1, new beginnings, new opportunities, and it's a year of a horse, which we will talk about also during this podcast. What from my side to say that we have now a Bali retreat coming up, the workshops. We have 11th of January on Patreon, and we'll have a 28th, I believe. 11th and 25th of January we have workshops, which is the first one is about creation, how to create the energy within you, how to make your life into the best possible version, and on this twin flame journey as well. And then we have Bali retreat, then we have Italy retreat in June, then again Cyprus, and now there is a surprise retreat in over the holidays next year, or this year and next year. Have a look on the website, those who wish to come. And I will be sharing more. I haven't posted the videos and the pictures from our previous retreats because, like I said, they are life-changing. If you can, come. If you cannot, we had a mini online retreat, and I found it was very beautiful too. If you find that you would like to do this again, let me know in Patreon, and we can organize it to do it. And we can go even deeper. It was just a trial version to see, but it was really, really beautiful. I think we were 45 people there. 69 people. I never look at the numbers because for me, none of this really, really matters. But 69 people joined there, and so everything is amplified. The more people join, the more energy and love gets amplified. And for any one of you who feels that they need this year to really take it seriously, to stop playing around, Twin Flame Awakening Journey, you can have your first session call with me to realize, am I on this journey? What's happening with me? And I'm just going to say, also what helps tremendously is to talk about it. It might sound very simple, but when you can finally talk to someone who can understand you, all of a sudden the mind stops obsessing. And then, of course, channelings and Kundalini activations and all of this is out there to help you on this journey. And you don't have to believe me. You don't have to, like I always say, when it's your time, you will change and shift. Anyways, lots of love and lots of happiness. I see you on Twin Flame Awakening Journey and on the workshops. Lots of love. All the links are in the description. So I see you around this day.
Standing on the door, I'm on my way. A million things I guess that I should say, but I am done. Yeah, I'm done. Letting go of all my heavy load. I waited for the moment to unfold. Nobody's gonna make me feel I'm going down. Doing alright, I'm doing okay. I stand up and take it as I go. Doing alright, I'm doing okay. Stronger than ever. Faded, it's not a shade of mine. All in all, I'm doing fine. Doing alright, I'm doing okay. Setting up a goal to grow from heart. gonna make me feel I'm off the chart. Doing alright, I'm doing okay. Stand up and take it as I go. Doing alright, I'm doing okay. Stronger than ever. Faded, it's not a shade of mine. All in all, I'm doing fine. Doing alright, I'm doing okay. I'm gonna hold the line, and I'm gonna be just fine. Doing alright, doing okay, and take it as I go. Doing alright, doing okay, stronger than ever.